This is episode 9 of My Sister Was Unalived with a Man That She Met 3 weeks ago. A lot of you guys have been asking in the comments about my mom and what happened to my mom and how she doing and things like that. So this episode is about her. So if you've been following my mini series in regard to my sister's unaliving, I had stated in a couple of videos back that my mom went with to ID her body. And when she went to ID her body, the last thing I remember was my mom jumping in the air literally about 10 feet. And then two of the police officers had to basically tackle her to the floor and hold her down because the screaming that replays in my head, like she screamed and screamed and screamed. I think she screamed until she literally had nothing left. Like there was nothing else. Like she had no voice. After we ID'd the body, we left the hospital and went back to her apartment. And at that point, that is when I collected, some of the things for my nephew so that I could take him home and pretty much start the process of planning the funeral. Before I went home, I contacted the funeral home and had them go to the hospital that she was in to retrieve her body and transfer it to the funeral home where I wanted her to be taken care of. After that, my mom pretty much went missing. From the planning of the funeral to shopping for my sister's clothing for the funeral, my mom wasn't involved in anything. And I don't blame her. She was just completely out of it. And I feel like mentally she didn't even want to believe that her daughter was unalived. To this day, to be honest with you guys, I feel like she carries the burden of blame. If you watch my previous videos, I talked about how, my mom's been an addict my whole life. So, a lot of the things that we've been through, a lot of the things that we've seen, it all came from her addiction. Regardless of all of that, when I tell you, as I said in the previous video, my sister and my mom were like this. The relationship was so toxic, but it did not matter. My sister and my mom were inseparable. I remember one time my mom was living in an apartment with another family member, and that family member was HIV positive. And the apartment was it was a junkie house. They didn't even have a front door. They had a sheet up on the front door. And my sister would run away from our then foster home and go find my mom and stay in that crack house with my mom. That's how deep their bond was. But fast forward, my mom went missing. So she wasn't there to help with anything. The day of the funeral, my mom did not show up. She was not there. She was not around. But what I will tell you is, and I know, all right, when we got to the burial site, I remember pastor did the service and, everything like that at the burial site. And I remember, I knew in my heart that my mom knew that my sister passed away, but I didn't want to not let her get that extra time with her. But I knew that she didn't want the time with other people. So what I did was, after the service was over, I made sure I let everybody leave. I told everybody, go ahead, go home. And I saw my mom up in the corner of the funeral grounds, just kind of off to the side, just looking. And so at that point, I just knew she was not going to come around everybody. She was just not going to do that. So I let the guys, the people that are in control of the cemetery, I just let them know, don't lower her body down. I want my mom to have, her time with her. which was another part that was like really hard. So I didn't get to see, like, when they wheel the casket down into the ground. I didn't get that closure part. I didn't get to see that because my mom refused to come to the burial site if anyone was around. So at that point we all left, and my mom got the time that I felt that she needed with her. After that, I'm going to insert some pictures so that you can see. So this is what my mom looked like before my sister passed away. And then I'm going to insert like pictures now of what my mom looks like, now. It's been really hard for her. It's been like, my mom is mentally gone. Now, I know that she's had other traumas and things in her life, but I truly feel like my sister's unaliving is causing her to die a slow death. She drinks. That's all she does. She drinks herself. She numerous of times has been on the verge of eviction. My mom is a veteran, so she's been in like this program where she got help with her housing for as long as I can remember. But they have to come there and pretty much like check on her, and she does not and did not allow that. So recently she just got put out of that program, and that was the program that helped pay her rent. Because she's on a fixed income. Right. The level of toxicity and like even just the things that she says are so mean and nasty. There were people in the comments that were saying like, give her grace. And I try. If anybody knows me, I stand 10 toes about my family. But it's hard to allow somebody to mistreat you when you know that it's not them, but my soul can't handle it. Like, I can't handle the disrespect. I can't I just cannot do it. And I try to show as much grace as I can. Like, even now, she'll be missing. She doesn't want a phone. I literally have to call the police department and have them do wellness checks for her to make sure that she's still alive. It's a lot, but it's sad because you don't want to tell someone how to grieve, but in life you gotta pick yourself up and you gotta keep going. No matter what, you have to keep going. But at the same time, the way that I love my kids, it's enough to take you out of here. And so like, I get it, I understand it, but I just wish that she would just let it go and she's just drinking herself and she's just dying slowly. Like, she just looks so bad. Like, it's literally like a walking skeleton. And like the things that she says, like she tells 50 stories in like less than 5 minutes. Like, it's rough. It's really rough, and it's crazy because you know how people always say like you never know what somebody's going through. Like, some days like I look normal, but people have no idea what I carry. People have no idea what I go through with my mom. Like, literally, just in February I drove to her city and helped her to pay her rent so that she wouldn't get evicted. Like, but I literally, like, I had to chase her down the block. It's a lot. And so grief is very heavy to deal with. The unaliving of a sibling and your own life and your own family, and you got to keep going and you can't let go. And then it's like my mom and like all these different things. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's hard. So please keep my mom, not even just me, but keep my mom in your prayers.